Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're playing a bit of Planet Coaster 2. I know I haven't been able to do any Planet Coaster 2 videos because, as you may know, my old laptop was probably the worst thing you could possibly play this game on. Like, all the graphics were glitching out and everything. But yeah, now we are able to play Planet Coaster 2 as I've had a few PC upgrades. When I say a few, I've now got an RTX 4060 Ti card, which is, if you don't know, a very good graphics card. And yeah, we're building an RMC, a Viking themed RMC. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm trying to do a barrel roll down drop, and in the end it worked out quite well, but I do go in and delete a lot of it. I think it's 4 attempts I do. But I wanted this one. If you don't know, the normal RMC barrel roll down drops normally bank in at the top as they go down into it. I actually wanted this one to do an outer bank into it, to like make you kind of hang out to the side a lot more. I thought that would be quite a cool element. I think this is the final attempt I take at it, and it actually turned out really well. This element did. It was really smooth in the end. Really happy with how it turned out, and overall I'm really happy with how this ride turned out, except for the theming, and like the area, which I will get to in a bit when that comes up. And now I'm starting, I think it's a double up, but it twists at the top. Yeah, this is the double up I'm doing here. It twists at the top though, kind of like, I think there's an element similar to it on Untamed, which is what I was trying to do. This one is a lot more though, it's a lot more graceful than that one. I think the one on Untamed kind of whips you at the top. This one kind of just gracefully swoops down into it, and overall it's quite smooth once again. And this game has some very good smoothing mechanics in it, I can't lie. Oh, cut there. Into a stall. I've added a little speed hill there as well. And then into a stall. This stall was so good. The way this stall turned out was amazing, in my opinion. Absolutely brilliant. And then I do an off-axis speed hill, which the airtime you would get over this element, you'll see it in the POV in a bit. I'll put the timestamp down below if you just want to skip to the POV. But yeah, this element would deliver such good ejector airtime, as would the next element, I believe, which is a double down. I'm so happy with how this double down turned out. It kind of goes to the top, whips out of it, and then just steps down instantly, and it comes out of nowhere, and I think it like hits like something like negative 1.5 G at the top, which, if you don't know, that's a lot. That's a lot of airtime there. This 0G roll, I'm quite happy with like the profiling and everything. It took a few attempts to get the profiling right, but it goes way too fast through it in the final product. So that's a bit annoying, but I am really happy with how it turned out. As you can see, I'm here smoothing out a lot of the elements now. Oh, what happened there? Anyway, yeah, smoothing. You can make some very smooth coasters in this game, which is something you couldn't do in Planet Coaster 1. Well, you could, but it would take a very long time, and as someone who used to play Planet Coaster 1 on console, it took a very long time to make smooth rides. This is something I regret doing. I end up swapping the direction of the station out, so it actually exits on the other, you enter it on the other side. I wish now that I'd kept it that side. Here again, I'm just testing how fast and how smooth the ride is. Oh yeah, epilepsy warning, because this has, especially in the time lapse when I go to check the smoothness of the ride, it can be a bit thingy on the eyes, so just epilepsy warning for that. Yeah, I think the next element is like a wave turn that I try to do. I originally go one way and then decide to go the other way. the main inspiration for this ride was Untamed at Wallaby Holland, and oh, I'm having a call. Bear with. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sir. This is Addict speaking from Network.
Don't answer scams, guys. If that's something you need to know, just don't answer them. So, yeah, we're now... Oh yeah, the wave turn, and then this, like, kind of S-hill there, and then a double down. There's a lot of double downs on this ride, I've realised. There's one there. There's a lot of double ups and double downs. So there's a double up... Oh, that's a nice big cut. So now I've added supports on the rest of the ride, and I've added a camelback, and now I'm doing one of the main inspirations for this ride, Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom. That ride has a trick track double up, which looks like one of the most intense elements in the world. The airtime you get on that looks absolutely mad, and I wanted to recreate that. But other inspirations I had for this ride were Untamed at Wallaby Holland and Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Here we go. This is one of the main moments on Untamed that I had an inspiration from. It was this heartline roll here. At the end of Untamed there's a heartline roll, which looks really intense, and I've heard it's supposed to be like the Mosasaurus roll on Velocicoaster. And I tried to do that, and I got the profiling and like the smoothness spot on, but it just runs way too slow through the element, and it's such a shame. I go in now and redo the last part of the brake run, and then a double up into the brake run, which would send you absolutely flying, because you'll see how fast you go through that double up. You'd get a lot of airtime here. I tried to do a little off-axis hill there, but it doesn't really work. It just looks a bit like an S-turn. Smoothing the camelback. I'm really happy with how the camelback turned out. Oh, nice big jump there. Now I go in and add support. Oh wait, no, I'm doing a transfer track here, because that's one thing that I love doing in Planet Coaster. Ultra real, like realism. So I had transfer tracks, I had maintenance buildings, I had staff buildings, maintenance roads. The maintenance road in this could be a lot better. I kind of lost focus towards the end of this project, which is what you'll see, especially with the exit path for the ride. And now starting the station, I was really happy with how the station turned out. It was I was going for very kind of Wickerman inspired, if you've ever done that ride at Alton Towers. It has a very distinct station. There's like loads of beams and banners and stuff in there, and it has like a very orange and red lighting, like a distinct colour palette. I was going for that in the station, and now I'm starting a queue, which I eventually go and delete all of that, which is quite funny. That queue ends up going. I don't use that queue. I actually am a lot less happy with the queue I end up using. And this was now me finishing this, like the main box for the station, and then I go in and add these beams, which I was always under the impression that they were under the Viking theme, but actually no, they're not. They're actually under the resort theme, which just goes to show how versatile the themes are in this game. You can do anything in this game, any theme you want. This is me searching for that piece now, and then I remember I had it under my favourites, which I forgot about. It's this like beam with the ropes either side of it. I always thought that was from the Viking theme, but no, it's actually under the resort, like tropical theme, which really shocked me, because it looks like a Viking piece. But then again, it just goes to show, and I just said this, how versatile the themes are in this game. You can do Western with the Viking theme, because everything's flexicolour as well, which I like. And you can do Western, you could do spooky, you can then do like sci-fi and steampunk with the aquatic theme. You could probably do like jungle theme with some of the resorts, tropical pieces. Really versatile game. It's a lot better for like theming, I'd say, than the original game. There's some things that are better in the original game, which I'll get onto in a bit. But yeah, most of it, the smoothing, the theming, and the pathing are all big ups for this game. So here I am going through adding theming. I wanted to do like banners hanging out over the station, which I do, but they're not really banners in the end. I add something different. It's like, I think it's market decoration I wanted to add an animatronic in the queue as well, or like a big theming piece in the queue, which I do. I add those like 2 Viking guys hammering something, because this ride is themed to a Viking forge of the god BROKKR, I think his name is. He's the Viking god of forges anyway. And the backstory I've gone for is there's this ancient Viking forge, probably built by him BROKKR himself, where they're fusing wood and steel to make stuff. This is the banner I use to hide the station away from the rest of the queue, and it worked out really well. It goes again with the Wicker Man aesthetic I was going for. And to finish off the story, rumours are, or legends say, that still to this day the forge is alive with activity, and then you actually go into the forge and the station is like the main forge itself. I'm trying to add a furnace here. I do go and redo the furnace completely, because the original bit I did for the furnace was terrible. I was trying to figure out how I could make it look like it was fiery and was on fire, because this piece actually looks a bit like the mouth of a forge, but I was trying to get fire, and the fire pieces in this game, as good as the graphics are, I actually prefer the fire pieces in the old game, in Planet Coaster 1, because they were a lot subtler, if that makes any sense. Because the fire jet small, I think it is, which I was originally looking at, was very, very small in Planet Coaster 1, which would have worked here. In Planet Coaster 2, it's a lot bigger. And this is where I wish we still had custom billboards, so I could add fire, and I eventually go with this piece, which, yes, it's not the best, but I do go back and change it completely, because it looks shocking, that piece does, and the forge looks shocking at the moment. So I will go back and change it. Here we go, this is me changing it now. It's like I go for a much more simpler look with these stone wall pieces, which are probably the best piece in this entire game. They look so good, they're 3D, they're just amazing. And I go then and add like the tray where they put some on. It looks a bit like a pizza oven, which is the kind of thing I wanted it to look like. And then I go and add some fire underneath. Not that one, I add, yeah, this one. Looks very good. It ends up looking very good, I'm very happy. I had some safety netting in front as well, because this ride would probably be here in the UK. And in the UK we have a lot of stupid people who would probably like jump into the fire or something, or put their hand in there. So safety is paramount. Here we go, custom op booth there, and I had these broken wall decals, which are once again probably some of the best pieces in this game. They add so much depth to the build. Oh, and now we're adding the roof in. I do go back and completely change that roof. I wasn't happy with it one bit like that. I'm still not really too happy with the roof of the stations. I'm just looking at like all the different lighting I can have in the station. Yeah, I had these lanterns. They look really nice actually. I'm quite happy with these lanterns. And then these torches on the other side. Probably wouldn't be real fire in real life, but then again they could be. I also add some bits to the front of the car eventually. Not them ones though. And then there we go, I'm adding the foundations to the whole building now. These aquatic corrugated iron pieces are a godsend. Oh, there we go, that's me checking my recording there. The aquatic corrugated iron pieces are a godsend. They work so well if you're trying to do realism. Like, you do not know how much I struggled in Planet Coaster 1 making realistic maintenance sheds, and these work like a dream. Here we go, I'm actually adding in here some speakers to do a dispatch effect with like some hammer sound effects. It looks quite good actually. It sounds quite good. I was originally going to add in some lights and make it a bit like Black Mamba at Phantasialand, where it has all these like lights glowing and all that. I eventually changed my idea and just went for speakers, and I'm using the new event sequencer here, which works really well. It's a much better thing than Planet Coaster 1's. And now I'm actually covering up these ugly air gates. Frontier, please just give us more customizable stations. I know they added offload stations, which is something I made use of in this build. Oh, what's happened there? Oh? Oh, enjoy this of me just, something's obviously happened in editing. Enjoy me doing terribly on the park speakers. There we go, now we're back where we are. Yeah, this is the air gates. Frontier, please make the stations more customizable so that we can shorten the length of the air gates, or even shorten the length of the entrance platforms, because they're huge and they don't need to be that big. I go in and now add some wooden flooring underneath the coaster, only in the station, because in the other bit the guests wouldn't see that bit, would they? So there's no need to add any flooring there. Now I'm starting on the transfer track and maintenance building. This is by far probably one of my favourite things that I've done in Planet Coaster 2 so far. This looked so good once it was done, and I was so happy. All these aquatic like scaffolding pieces, they look like things that the track would slide across. They look really good. I'm adding some girders here just to support the runners. And then feel free to go into the comments and tell me that it's not how RMC would do a transfer track, because I don't care. It looks good, in my opinion, and I'm happy with how it turned out. And I add these I think they're called metal support beams or something like that anyway, but they look really well as shutters. You can stack them on top of each other and make shutters, which is something I really like. I do go and extend it down a bit more eventually. At this part of the build I was really happy with how it was turning out so far. Aha, here we go. I'm working on lockers here, and this is like the part of the build where I was really happy with how it was turning out. It was when I started doing pathing that I kind of lost focus and lost all interest in this ride, because I got really stuck with the pathing. But here we go, the lockers. I actually used the back of an aircon piece to make like the place where you'd probably put in your coins or whatever, or like your code for the locker. And yeah, using the lockers as using the aircon pieces as the lockers, sorry, it really worked, and I was very happy with how they turned out. They're supposed to be like fly Phantasialand style lockers, because if you've ever done that ride, you'll know that you are not allowed to take anything into the station. You actually go through metal detectors, and you get like patted down to check if you have any loose articles. I believe it's because the ride goes over all the pathways, and and there's no netting there, so if you had any loose articles and they fell out, there's a very high risk that it will hit someone. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've heard. And this ride has some very intense airtime moments, so I just wanted to add in some lockers to make sure that your loose articles don't fly out. I didn't add metal detectors on this one, but I still wanted, because I actually really enjoy the mystery of Fly's station, as there is no footage of it online, so I don't know, so nobody knows what it looks like until you've actually been there and done that ride. And here we go. The queue I wasn't very happy with. The plazas I was quite happy with. I'm here adding scenery into the queue. I'm just not very happy with how this queue turned out. The first part, yes, but when you get closer to the station, I'm just not very happy with it at all. I'm not sure what's going on here. I've probably just paused again or something. Probably having a drink or something at this point. Yeah, I do go and add these guys in. I don't make it move, I make it static. This would probably go to like a budget park. I'm not overly theming this ride. Other than the station, it's very stylized around the area. Lots of like nature and that. I had some like rocks with some runes on them and stuff. And now I'm going in and adding fencing because I couldn't be bothered to go in and custom fence it all. I'm going to be brutally honest. It didn't let me add fencing to that corner there, which is quite annoying. There we go, now I'm working on the sign, and I'm so happy with how this sign turned out. It looked so good. I saw it on a speed build. I can't remember who I saw it on. I think it may have been Silverette's video. Here's Viking one. I think, is it Rambuck, the Vekoma? He like double layered the text and it created like a shadow effect, which I'm really happy with. And here my game actually crashes, which is something you'll witness. I think it's about now that my game just crashes. Yeah, there you go. And I'm just shocked here. You can see my recording software, OBS, open there. And I go in and have to redo the sign again. BROKKR'S Forge is the name of the ride. I'm very bad at coming up with names. I know it's not the best name on the planet, but the sign looks really good. The scenery brush is a godsend. That's all I'm going to say. Adding the sign now onto like a wooden backdrop, because some of the inspiration for the sign was like Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, where it's on like rocks and has like a wooden background to it. Got loads of bushes that I'm going to add in a sec. And then I have these two blokes. Oh yeah, I've just cut there. So I actually made a pond using a pool so that I could add like a pond into the blueprint, which I'm quite happy with. Here we go. Now on the maintenance building, adding some infrastructure in, like a workshop I think it is, and a staff building, and then a generator and distributor. Once you've got the hang of power in this game, I know I saw some people criticising the power mechanics in this game. Once you got the hang of it, it's actually quite easy. And feel free to go give me some criticism in the comments there, because I'd love to know how I can improve on my next builds. And then go and add some doors. And then a car from the maintenance road. I do then go and back and recolour the entire maintenance road. It's actually a staff path. I wish you could add I think, is it the natural path, is that what it's called, as a staff path, so then I could just completely make my own maintenance road. I'd much rather prefer that. Then add some girders, like a low clearance girder there. I was originally going to add a sign on there that said low clearance, but then I forgot about it. I had another one there as well, where it's just where it's going over the path. I'm just getting distracted here watching my own ride go around. And then this is where I start the exit of the ride, and I'm gonna be brutally honest, I wasn't very happy with the exit. I lost focus of the whole project towards the end. I was ready to move on to a new ride. Oh, and then that's the end of the time lapse. So now I'll go meet you in realism, real time even, to go give you the tour. So see you then. So yes, we are now in the park, or the blueprint should I say. So we have a lovely view over from this second plaza, all across the ride. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. Then as we come round here, in a park there would be lots of foliage or other nice things. Probably should have fenced all this off, but we move. And then we have the lovely entrance sign and a lovely view. It looks really intimidating from here as well. It's not even that tall, but it looks really tall. But yeah, we have the lovely, I can't pronounce, I think is it BROKKR'S forge? I've definitely butchered that name. Yeah, we're coming through. Entrance, and now we're in the queue line. Got a nice view of the pre-drop. Got a bit of ambiance. Transfer track and maintenance building over there. This bit was weird, it wouldn't let me put fencing here for some reason. There we go. There's the entrance to the forge. Then we got the fly at Phantasialand style lockers. Over into the station. I am actually really happy with how the station's turned out. It's probably my favourite thing other than the actual coastal layout. Got the custom op booth over there. And yeah, I think we're gonna go have a ride. Oh, it's just kicked me out. I'll have to test coaster and hop on the front row. Here we go, out of the, oh I did add a bit of scenery to it as well. Out of the station, into the double down, and then up the lift hill. And there we go. That's the end of the ride. I'll probably get off here and then we can go. Oh, okay. And then we can. How do I get back into gas view? It's over here. First person. Oh. Wait, what? First person camera. There we go. Got in here, we got the like all the offload station theming. And then this is where I kind of lost focus. I kind of rushed the ending. So I'm kind of happy with how this room turned out. It's quite majestic. That should be like BROKKR, or however you pronounce his name, himself. Then you come through out into the daylight. It's this part of the exit that I'm not very happy with. It's because I constrained myself from space, and I like the views you get. Like, look at this. Really up close and personal with the coaster there. A nice view over the lift hill, but like there was no space, so I just ended up doing this. We got over there another coaster that I've been working on recently. And then and that's the ride. I'm happy with the layout. I think the finale on the layout could have been a bit faster. From this overbank here through to like the end of the ride felt a bit slow. To be fair, the trick track double up could have been a bit faster as well. And then it just loses all its speed. I wanted that to be a bit like Untamed. Like, the roll at the end of Untamed is supposed to be really good. But it just felt kind of slow, almost like hang time at the end there. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the ride. Go download it on the workshop. I will put the workshop code up on screen right now. There we go. This could be the thumbnail for the video. Or one sec. Pause. There we go. That's a lovely thumbnail shot. No, I'll probably go back and do a better thumbnail. But yeah, the workshop code will be up on screen right now. Go download it and yeah, like and subscribe. You've been watching Airtime Addict, and I'll see you around. Try a bit.